I guess. Thanks, Avijay, for your help. That's very kind. And welcome, everyone. So we are debating the answers, yeah, the questions and answers from the quiz, yeah. So last time, I think we finished with the person and the person's aggregates. Do you remember? Yes? So is it contradictory, equivalent, 3P, 4P? Yeah, on one side, the person and the person's aggregates. Who dares to open the mic?
It's contradictory.
Contradictory because, yes, that's a good answer. The contradictory because?
Because the person is not the aggregates.
Okay.
Because the aggregates are form and form, feeling, discrimination of factors and consciousness, and that is not the person.
Yes, very good. Very good, Rocio, yes. So we could debate further. We could say, yes, according to the Sotrantika, according to the non-Prasangika schools, if we really look for what is the person, we have to find something among the aggregates. So we could say that according to the Sotrantika, for instance, person, the subject, the person is not any of the aggregates. But if it is the person, it has to be, for instance, the mental consciousness. Yeah. So that's why they would say that there is a distinction between the self-isolate of the person, what is the person in general. That's a non-associated compositional factor. So it's a functioning thing which is not matter and not consciousness. But whatever is the person can be consciousness because they have to find something among the aggregates when they look for the person. So they would say, okay, the person is the one illustration of the person could be the mental consciousness. Okay, so that's a tiny point. We will go back to that later when we will study substantial existent and imputed existent. Yeah.
Is this mental consciousness any of the aggregates?
So
No.
it is one of the aggregates because, as you said correctly, the 5 aggregates are form, feelings, discriminations, compositional factors, and consciousness. Yeah, and among the aggregates of consciousnesses, we have the mental consciousness. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Very good. Very good. Okay. So yes, the person and the aggregates of the person are contradictory. Still, they are one entity. Yes, when we look for the person, we have to look for the aggregates. Yeah, when we look at the face, we look at the person. Yeah, so the person and the aggregates, when they appear to a direct perception, they don't appear separately. Yeah, is that okay for everyone? It's not too heavy information. Yes, please.
A clarification, but not all aggregates are for a human, right? So there's also, this is an important distinction, if I recall well.
Yes, exactly. We could say that any person is, the definition of a person is, do you have that? Do you have the definition of a person? Anyone?
That what is imputed in the aggregates?
Yes, we could say so. We could say an individual or a being imputed independence on any of the 5 aggregates. Yeah. So yes, we could say a cat is a person. Yes. A deva, a god and a goddess and so on, they are persons. Yeah. Yeah. Do you agree with that? Okay. So we could say that special types of devas, they live in the formless realm. So do they have 5 aggregates? No. They have only 4 aggregates. Yeah? So that's why the definition says yeah, independence on any of the 5 aggregates. It's not necessarily the all 5 aggregates. Yeah.
Are there beings that have less than 4 aggregates?
Yes, for instance, the formless beings they, as their name mentions, they don't have any form aggregate, yeah?
Less than 4, the ones that
Less than 4, yes, less than 4. Less than 4 would be difficult to find because we necessarily have a mind. Yes, so we have, for instance, okay, for the formless beings don't have any eye consciousness, ear consciousness, and so on, but they have a mental consciousness. Yeah? So they have at least consciousness, mental consciousness, and the 5 omnipresent mental factors at the very least. So they have feelings and discriminations. And the other, we could say some of the other mental factors which belong to the compositional factors aggregates. Yeah. And we could say also they have seeds, they have karmic seeds, they have the seeds of the afflictions and so on. And seeds belong to the 4th aggregate, yeah, the compositional factors. Yes, is that okay? Very good. That's how we learn the basics of the Buddhist philosophy. That's fantastic. Okay. Very good. So we had that point, and also, okay. Yes, something easier. Wet and moistening and hot water. Who would say contradictory equivalent 3P, 4P? Wet and moistening and hot water.
3P.
3P for Chaviji.
repeat.
3P as well for Rosyo G. Okay. So very good. So 3P. So it follows that if you say 3P, there are some common bases, yeah? Do you agree with that? Okay. So what could be a common base between wet and moistening and hot water?
The tea in my cup.
Okay, it follows that the tea in your cup is hot water.
The hot water in my cup.
Yes, otherwise, if you go to the bar or to the tea shop and you ask for a tea, you pay sometimes very expensive, you know, and they give just a glass of hot water.
So the hot water in my tea.
Yes, very good. The subject, the hot water in your tea, it follows it is hot water.
Accept.
Okay, very good. And it follows it is wet and moistening.
Accept.
Very good. Okay, so it is something which is both. Yeah, it is a common base. Everybody agrees? Okay, very good. So if you say 3P, you need to mention the perversion. If it is A, it's necessarily B, but if it's B, it's not necessarily A. How would you formulate?
If it is wet and moist, it doesn't have to be hot water. It could be cold water.
Yes, very good. Yeah, so the perversion goes like this. If it is hot water, it's necessarily wet and moistening. But if it is wet and moistening, it's not necessarily hot water. Yeah? Everybody agrees? Okay, very good. Very good. For instance, yes, cold water. The subject cold water. It follows it is wet and moistening. Yes, it is wet and moistening because
it's suitable to be wet and moistening.
Yeah. Okay. So it follows that the subject milk is wet and moistening because it's suitable to be wet and moistening. Milk is not wet and moistening. Milk is dry. Yeah, we could say milk in powder. Yeah, you know, sometimes they sell that in the shop. You know, how do you say? Milk in powder. Yeah. Okay. So this is dry. It is not wet and moistening. But usually speaking, milk is wet and moistening. Do you agree? Okay. So it follows that the subject milk is water. So if you ask to the same tea shop, can you give me some milk with my tea? Then they give first 1 glass of hot water and another glass of water. They would say that but because it is wet and moistening, so it has to be water. No?
It's
It,
wet
it
and
has water. It has the characteristics of wet and moistening.
Yes. Yes.
But
Yeah.
water.
Yes, it has water. It is not water. Eh? Okay. We could say that on one side it is wet, and on the other side it is moistening, but it is not wet and moistening because it is not water. That's one way to escape that debate, yeah? Okay, very good. So we said, okay, cold water is wet and moistening, but it is not hot water. Yes, everybody agrees, yeah? So it
Yes.
is something which is A and not B. Something which is wet and moistening, but not hot water. Very good. So we cannot find any hot water which is not wet and moistening, yeah? Do you agree with that? Yeah, if it is hot water, cold water, very, very hot water, boiling water, and so on, it has to be water. Very good. So it follows you can posit something which is none of them. It's not H2O, wet and moistening and hot water.
The chair.
The chair, very good. The chair, the subject chair, it follows it is not wet and moistening.
Accept.
Okay. You know, sometimes people, they build many things with ice. Yeah, so you have some guest houses, sometimes they build a room, you know, in ice, and also a chair with ice.
The wood chair.
Okay. Yes, a wooden chair. It follows it is not wet and moistening. Yes,
Accept.
very good. And it follows that a wooden chair is not hot water.
Accept.
Very good. So we have 3P. Everybody agrees? Wow, fantastic. Easy philosophy, eh? Wow, very good. Very good. So now we have something a bit more crunchy, existent, and one. So the challenger could start with that. It follows that you can posit the definition of existent.
Accept.
Yes, please posit.
That which is perceived by the direct cognition.
Okay, so it follows that the subject.
Valid direct cognition.
Okay, by valid direct cognition. Okay, so it follows that okay, the subtleties of karma or the length of a kalpa, they don't exist because they are not perceived by valid direct perception.
No pervasion.
Okay. Okay, so it follows that it's not because it is not perceived by valid direct cognition that it's not a non-existent, yeah? Yeah, it can exist, yeah?
The definition is missing phenomena perceived by direct cognition.
Ah, yes. But could you say that a non-existent can be perceived by a direct valid cognition? Okay. Okay. Yeah, you could say that we have the clear appearance of a non-existent. Yeah, you could say so. Okay, so drop it. So, like for instance, if your eye consciousness sees a snake when there is a rope, only a rope, so there is a clear appearance of a non-existent. There is no snake where there is a rope. Yeah, okay. So still, okay, the eye direct perception cannot see a snake. It would see the appearance of a snake, but not the snake, because that snake is a non-existent. Okay, very good. So we could say, yes, existent is defined as observed by a valid cognition. Yeah, observed by a valid cognition. Any valid cognition. It's not necessarily, of course, a direct valid cognition. It can be an inferential valid cognition. Yes. Of course, we could say for the Buddha, any valid cognition is a direct valid cognition for the Buddha himself. Yeah. Okay, very good. So that's the definition of existent. And now I guess that you all know the definition of one. Yes. That which is suitable to be shown as one. No? No? Okay. What could it be? Yes, please, Rocio.
That which is not diverse phenomena.
Okay. That which is not diverse phenomena. So, for instance, if we choose the subject horn of the rabbit, is it diverse phenomenon? It is not, yeah? So it follows that the subject horn of the rabbit is one because it is not diverse phenomenon.
It is not.
Okay, so,
Direct phenomena?
yeah, so we could say a phenomenon which is not diverse. Yeah, the definition of one. Yeah, we have to specify that it exists. So it is a phenomenon which is not diverse. Yeah. Yeah. Is that okay? Very good. Okay, so now that we know the definitions of existent and one, so it follows you can posit the difference between the two among contradictory equivalent 3p, 4p, or maybe 5p.
3p.
3p, okay, very good, 3p. So can you posit an illustration, please, of something which is both?
A cup.
Cup.
The cup.
Yeah, that cup. Okay.
Like this cup, if there was
This.
a cup.
Okay. This cup, yeah, exactly. This cup, yeah. We could say, yes. What other illustrations could we find? That's a good answer, yeah. Cup, or this cup, yeah. But what kind of other answers could you give? Yes, something which is both existent and one.
That's anything,
Anything.
except for that's non-existent.
Okay.
One thing, any one
any-
thing, a chair,
Any one thing, yeah.
any one thing, a chair,
A chair,
a
yeah.
house.
A house.
A
Yeah.
group, a group can be
Um,
one.
Yes, exactly. A group.
Can be
Yes. A forest. Yes, exactly. For instance, a forest is one. Yes, it is made of many trees, but still it is one. Yeah. So any one phenomenon. Yeah, exactly. Very good. Very good. So we could say, for instance, different. The subject different. Does it work?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we have experts. So it follows that the subject different is not diverse phenomena.
Accept.
Okay. So it follows that the subject diverse phenomena is not the definition of different because different is not diverse phenomena.
It is the definition.
Okay, so no perversion. Yeah, we will see that. Maybe today, if we have time, we will try to have some introduction of the syllogism. Okay, so we would say no perversion. It is not because the subject different is one or is a phenomenon which is not diverse that its definition would not be that. Yeah. Okay. Okay, very good. So we could say one is existent and it is one. Yeah, we could say also existent. Existent is one. Okay. But yes, chair, house, a group, and so on. Yeah, that works as well. Yeah, very good. Okay. So it follows that the subject, okay, a group of chairs. It follows, it is one.
Accept.
Okay, it is one because?
Because it is one group.
Okay, it follows that if it is one group, it's necessarily one.
Accept.
Yes, very good, very good. And one group of chairs, it follows it exists.
Accept.
Yes, it exists because?
Because it is observed by valid cognition.
Okay, very good. It follows that if it is observed by valid cognition, it necessarily exists.
Accept.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, because a non-existent cannot be observed by valid cognition, yeah? So it implies that it has to exist, yeah? If it is observed by valid cognition, it is known or realized by a valid cognition, yeah? And we can realize only what exists. Very good.
So the privation in this one is if it is one, it is existent, but if it is existent, it doesn't have to be one? Or how do
Very good.
you
Yeah.
phrase?
Yes, if it is one, it's necessarily existent, but if it is existent, it's not necessarily one. Yeah,
And-
everybody agrees?
And that's how you posit the probation for 3P?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly that way. Yeah, very good. So now the challenger will ask, okay, can you give an illustration of something which is existent but not one?
A chair and table.
Chair and table. Yeah,
Chair.
the two, chair and table, it follows they exist.
Accept,
Yeah, they exist because,
because they can be observed by valid cognition.
yes, very good. And it follows that the subject, the two, table and chair, are not one.
Accept.
Accept,
Yes, they are not one because,
because they are different.
Mhm.
very good. Follows that if they are different, they are necessarily not one.
Accept,
Okay, and it follows that if they are not different, they are necessarily one.
Accept.
no
Uh-huh.
perversion.
Okay, so if they are not different, they are not necessarily one.
Accept,
Okay, for instance,
for instance, horn of a rabbit.
horn of the rabbit. It follows that the subject horn of the rabbit is not different.
Accept.
Accept,
Yes, still it is not one.
Accept.
accept,
Okay, very good. But if it exists and it is not different, it has to be one.
Accept.
Yeah.
Yes, very good. You get it perfectly. Wow, that's very, very special. Very nice, because when you study the Madhyamaka and other texts and so on, then you will find, oh, that's so beautiful, because when you know those basics. Yeah. That's so nice. Okay. Okay, very good. So the perversion is like this. Yeah, if it is one, it necessarily exists. But if it is existent, it's not necessarily one. For instance, the subject, the two, table and chair. They exist, but they are not one. Yeah? Okay, so can you posit an illustration of something which is none of them? Not
The-
one and not existent.
The horn of a
Yeah,
rabbit.
exactly. Very good. We can even say one horn of the rabbit. It is not one. Very good. Okay, fantastic. So three possibilities, 3P between the two, existent and one. Very good. Okay. So now we have different and impermanent. It follows you can posit the definition of different.
Accept.
Yes, please posit.
Phenomena which is not diverse.
Yes, that would be the definition of one, yeah?
Oh,
A
yeah.
phenomenon which is
Phenomena.
not diverse, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Different phenomena, diverse phenomena.
Yes, diverse phenomena, very good. So in Tibetan, yeah, easy. In Tibetan, it's always more easy to say. A few syllables and you got everything. Okay, very good. Yeah, phenomena, diverse phenomena. Okay, so it follows that the subject diverse phenomena is the definition of different.
Accept.
Yes, very good. It is the definition of different because
different is phenomena that is not diverse.
we could say because different is the definiendum of diverse phenomena.
Okay.
Yeah, if different is the definiendum of diverse phenomena, then diverse phenomena is the definition of different. Yeah, very good. Definiendum means just the object defined. Yeah, that which is defined by that definition. Yeah. Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, and it follows you can posit the definition of impermanent.
Phenomena that changes moment by moment.
Yes, exactly. Yes, we could say momentary. Yeah, kshanika in Sanskrit. Kshana means the very smallest part of time, kshana, and the adjective would be kshanika. Yeah, momentary. Yeah. So yes, it means it has to change moment by moment. Yeah? It doesn't mean that it has to cease forever. Yes, we saw that previously. Yeah, during the last season. Yeah, maybe last year. yeah, we saw that there are 4 possibilities between eternal and impermanent. Yeah, or eternal and permanent. Yeah. Okay, very good. So momentary means it's changing moment by moment. How long it endures, that's not the point. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, very good. So it follows that the subject momentary is the definition of impermanent.
Accept.
Okay, very good. So now it follows you can posit the difference between the two, different and impermanent. Contradictory, equivalent, 3P, 4P.
4P.
4P. Very good.
4P.
Okay. Yes, 4P. So we have 8P now. 4 and 4. Okay, very good. 4P. 4P. So it follows that if you say 4P, you can put it in the illustration of something which is both a common base between different and impermanent.
Okay.
Yes, very good. Pose it. What can it
The
be?
two flower and its stem.
Okay, very good. The subject, the two, a flower and its stem. Okay, it follows that they are different.
Said
Yes, they are different because
because they are diverse phenomena.
very
They are
good.
diverse phenomena.
Yes. Yes, we could say because they are contradictory.
They are
Yeah,
contradictory.
part and whole are contradictory. So we could say that as well. But that's a good answer as well, to give the definition of different. Very good. Yes. Okay, so it follows that if they are diverse phenomena, they are necessarily different.
Accept.
Except
Yes, very good. Okay, very good. And okay, the subject, the two, flower and its stem are impermanent.
except
Yes, they are impermanent because
they are conditioned phenomena.
yes, very good. Yes, very inventive. Yeah, we could
Moment.
say because they are momentary. And we could say because they are produced, because they are effects, because they are causes, because they are ultimate truth for the Sotrantika. Yeah? For the Sotrantika following reasoning, they are ultimate truth, yeah? Ultimately able to perform function. Or because they are functioning things. There are so many answers we can give when we will learn those points after, yeah. But now that's a good point because they are composed phenomena. It follows that if they are composed phenomena, they are necessarily impermanent.
Except
Okay, very good, because composed phenomena means samskara, yeah, in Sanskrit, it means they are composed by causes and conditions, yeah? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very important, because space is composed by parts. Yeah, space has parts. Eastern space, Western space, Northern space, and so on, they are parts of space. So space is composed by its parts, but it is not a composed phenomenon because it is not produced, it is not caused. Yeah. So that's why we have to make that distinction. Yeah. Yeah. Every phenomenon has parts. Yeah. Has necessarily parts. Yeah. Even emptiness. Okay. Okay. Put it aside for now. Okay. But yes, it follows that if it is a composed phenomenon, it's necessarily impermanent.
yes, if we take this
Yeah.
definition that it arises.
Yes, composed phenomena is equivalent, yeah, with impermanent. Yeah.
Impermanent.
Okay, I can say cause, effect, functioning thing, ultimate truth, manifest phenomenon, and so on. Okay, very good. So it follows that the subject, the flower and its stem are necessarily different and impermanent.
Except
So yes, very good. So there are a common base between the two. Yeah, everybody agrees? Very good. So if you say 4P, you can posit something which is different but not impermanent.
Except
Yes. What can it be?
left side of this uncompounded space and right side of the uncompounded space.
Yes, very good. Yes, space in the east, space in the west, and so on and so on. Or the subject, the two, selflessness of the table, selflessness of the cup, and so on. Yeah. So they are different. Everybody agrees that the subject, space, western, left side of the space and right side of the space are different.
Yes, accept.
Yes, they are different because
Because
Because they are different, because they are contradictory.
yes, wow, very deep answer. Very good, very good. Wow.
Christopher,
Yes,
so
please.
according to Swatantrika, ultimate truth, which is ultimate truth is impermanent phenomena.
Yes, very good.
So
Exactly.
how can we say here, in context of Swatantrika, that selflessness belongs as a permanent object?
Yes, so it is a conventional truth.
So it is. So it is permanent. No, well, selflessness would be, according to Swatantrika, it would be impermanent.
Ah, okay. Ah, yes, yes, I see what you mean. Okay. So yes, specifically for the Sotrantika following reasoning, yeah? Because for the Sotrantika following scriptures, they follow the Vaibhashika. So they would not agree with what we say now. But for the Sotrantika following reasoning, any impermanent, according to the Gelugpa interpretations, any impermanent phenomenon is necessarily an ultimate truth because it is the appearing object of an ultimate mind. It is an appearing object of a non-mistaken mind. Yes, you remember when we studied psychology during the break, we had the definition of direct perception for the Sotrantika. Remember the definition of a direct perception?
that which is observed by a valid cognition.
Okay, so this is the definition of existent. So yes, a direct perception exists, so it is observed by valid cognition. But still, the definition of direct perception for the Sotrantika following reasoning is cognition which is free from conceptualization and non-mistaken. Yeah, direct perception, according to the definitions that we see here, yeah, for if you study, for instance, in Tibet House with Venerable Dandula, you would see that the definition of that we give here, the definition is a cognition which is free from conceptualization and non-mistaken would be the definition of a valid direct perception. Yes, but here that's the definition of a direct perception. Yeah, so it is an ultimate mind because it is not mistaken. So it's fitting with reality. And a conceptual mind is mistaken. So it is a conventional mind. And any permanent phenomenon is the appearing object of a thought consciousness. So it is a conventional truth because it appears to a conventional mind, a mistaken mind. So that's why they say they say it like this. Yes, we are used with the Madhyamaka, for instance, and for the Madhyamaka or even for the Chittamatra, any ultimate truth has to be permanent. Yes, but here for the Sotrantika, that's the way around, the opposite. Any ultimate truth is impermanent because it's the appearing object of an unmistaken mind, of an ultimate mind. That's why, yeah. So it can be confusing, yeah, I agree. Yes, so selflessness, the
So thinking
Sotrantika is
of this while revising the Swatantrika, so I guess, but because we reject Swatantrika philosophy, then we can posit this example as selflessness as being permanent.
yes, selflessness would always be considered as permanent for any, I would say, yes, for any school. Yeah, for the Vaibhashika, it's a bit specific because they don't accept non-affirming negations, but
Yes.
for the other schools, any non-affirming negation has to be permanent, and selflessness is a non-affirming negation for almost all the schools. Yeah. So here we try to check the Sotrantika following reasoning in order to see some, limitations in their view. Then after we can cross the border and go towards the Chittamatra, then the Swatantrika Madhyamaka and the Prasangika Madhyamaka. So that's the way we try to study that exactly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, Lucio. Pleasure.
So here, where we say different selflessness of table and selflessness of chair, we're talking about the permanent Unitarian and substantially existent table, and that is what is different.
So we would say
From-
that according to those schools, when they speak about for the Vaibhashika and the Sotrantika, then the Pratimokshayana school, they would say, yes, selflessness means the selflessness of the person, and that the subtlest level of selflessness of the person, the absence of self-sufficient, substantial, existent person. So of course they don't believe that the table is a person. Yeah.
Yeah. So
They-
then the selflessness of a person, is it here? Sorry is it here the partless particle?
So they would say that because there is no self-sufficient, substantial, existent I, there is no object of use of that I. So that table is not an object of use of a self-sufficient, substantial, existent me. So that's why it is a selflessness of the person, that table. Because they don't accept the selflessness of phenomena. So for them, if it is a selflessness, it's necessarily the selflessness of the person. So the table is not a person, they agree with that, but the table is not an object of use or an object of experience of a self-sufficient substantial I. So that's why it's a selflessness of the person in that regard. Yeah. Okay, so we will delve
that-
into that later. Of course, we will explain. We will try at least to explain those points later. Yeah. Yes, but please, yeah.
So the selflessness, I think I'm repeating what you're saying. So the selflessness of a person is applied to the table.
Exactly. Yes,
But we
and even
say then
yeah.
selflessness of the table?
So the selflessness of the table would be the selflessness of the person of the table, because the table is not an object of use of a self, of a self-sufficient substantial self. So that's why you cannot assert the selflessness of phenomena. So they have to say that, yeah? Like for instance, in the Tenet books, they would say like this: if it is a selfless, it has to be the selflessness of the person. Yeah. But yes, they agree that the table is not a person. And they would agree that the table is substantially existent. Yeah. So still the table is empty of being an object of use of a self-sufficient substantial me, because the person, usually speaking, the person in general is necessarily not a substantial existent. It's an imputed existent. So this we will see. We will see that again later, because that's very important to know that kind of selflessness they speak about in order to go towards the Madhyamaka. Yeah, because the Madhyamaka will refute that kind of self as well. Yeah? Okay, still it is gross for the Prasangika Madhyamaka. Eh? Okay, very good. Okay, sorry for the complications, but if it speaks to you, if it resounds in your heart, that's beautiful. Otherwise, just be patient. We'll speak about that later. Okay, so yes, selflessness of the table, selflessness of the chair, or we could say the left side of space and the right side of space, they are different. Everybody agrees, yeah? They are different because they are contradictory. It follows that if they are contradictory, they are necessarily different.
Yep.
Yes, because
because to be contradictory, they have to be different.
Exactly, because the definition of contradictory is
A different diverse phenomena with no possible common locus between them.
exactly, or different with no common base, yeah? Yes, okay, very good. That's beautiful. Beautiful philosophy. Okay. So it follows that the subject, the two left side of space and right side of space are not impermanent.
Except
They are not
uncompounded.
impermanent. Yes, exactly. Yeah, the left side of uncompounded space and right side of uncompounded space, they are not impermanent because
They are momentary. Sorry. Because they are not momentary.
Okay, so it follows that if it is not momentary, it's necessarily not impermanent.
Except
Very good. Wow, very good. Yeah, so we refute that they are impermanent. We are not proving that they are permanent, but we are refuting that they are impermanent. Yeah, so that's very important. So if we refute that they are momentary, we refute that they are impermanent. It's not yet proving that they are permanent. Yeah, so we will speak about that later. Okay, very good. Very
Can
good.
you also say one and different?
Yes, exactly. One and different are different. Everybody agrees?
except
Yes, they are different because
they are diverse phenomena.
With no
Yes. Because they are contradictory or because they are diverse phenomena and so on. Yeah. And one and different exist.
Accept.
Yes. Okay, it was not exist, it was they are not impermanent. Yeah, okay. Yes, one the subject, the two, one and different are not impermanent.
Except
Okay, they are not impermanent because
because they are
because they are
permanent.
because they are permanent phenomena. Very good. It follows that if they are permanent, they are necessarily not impermanent.
Yes, accept.
Very good. So yes, we will have to see that after the syllogism, when everybody is clear with the comparisons, like it seems to be the case now, and when we will be clear with the defenders answers and the syllogism, then we will go in the hardcore philosophy. Yeah, what means to exist? What are the equivalent phenomena with phenomenon and existent and so on, and the divisions? Yeah, we have already known a main division, yeah, one and different, but we have to go in impermanent and permanent as well. Yeah, so we'll see that. Okay, very good. So yes, one and different are not impermanent and they are different. The left side and the right side of uncompounded space are not impermanent and they are different. Okay, because if we say compounded space,
then it is
the left side,
impermanent.
it is impermanent, compounded space. Everybody agrees?
compounded space exists. I thought it's space. Space.
Yes, yeah, for instance, if you study the Raja Parikata Ratnavali from Aryanagajuna, yeah, in the first chapter, I guess, when he's checking if the person is the six elements, yeah, so earth, water, fire, air, space, and consciousness. Yeah, so in that case, space would be an element, so it would be impermanent. So he speaks about compounded space, one element which belongs to the aggregates. Yeah, so if it is one of the aggregates, it has to be impermanent. So some texts, for instance, they would say space in the nostrils. Space in the nostrils is a compounded space. It is not uncompounded space, it is compounded space. And they would call it a non-associated compositional factor. Yeah, it is impermanent, it is not matter, it is not consciousness. So it is a non-associated compositional factor, yeah? Yeah, okay. Too much blah blah from my side, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, very good. So different and impermanent. So now we had something which is both, yeah, table and chair. Now we have something which is different but not impermanent. space in the east, space in the west, or two selflessnesses. And now we need impermanent, which is not different. If we say 4P.
Impermanence.
Yes, impermanence. Yes, the subject impermanence. It follows it is impermanent.
Accept.
Yes, because it is impermanent.
Because it is momentary.
Yeah. Okay, it follows that if it is momentary, it's necessarily impermanent. Yeah, so the subject impermanent itself is impermanent. Yeah, because sometimes you can read on Facebook or some other places, yeah, some people say the only thing which is not impermanent is impermanent itself. But impermanent is defined as momentary, so it has to be impermanent. Yeah. So yes, very good. And impermanent is a functioning thing. Yeah, it has to be impermanent, to be momentary, but it is not matter and it is not consciousness. So impermanent itself is also an NACP, non-associated compositional factor. Okay, very good. But if it is impermanent, it's not necessarily a non-associated compositional factor. Yeah.
Accept.
Yeah. For instance, cup is impermanent, but it is matter. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody agrees. Okay.
Could it also
Well,
be, could it also be one impermanent phenomena, the illustration of impermanent?
yes, like for instance, as Inala said, impermanence itself, it is one, and it is impermanent. Yeah, so it is not different and it is impermanent. But you could choose something else if you wish. Also,
One chair.
yes, one chair, very good. It follows that the subject chair or one chair is impermanent.
Accept.
Yes, it is impermanent because
It is a compounded.
yes, because it is a composed phenomenon. Yeah, very good. So it follows that if it is a composed phenomenon, it's necessarily impermanent.
Accept.
Very good. We could say because it is matter, or because it is form, and so on. Because yeah, we can give so many reasons. Yeah. Okay, but that one is very good. Okay, and it follows that the subject chair is not different.
It's not different from that chair.
Okay, so it follows that the subject, that chair is not different. Yeah.
Accept.
Yes, it is not different because
It is not
Because it is a single.
yes, it is not different because
Because it is a singular phenomena.
yes, if it is a singular phenomenon, it's necessarily not different. Yeah. If it is one, it's necessarily not different. Yes, you accept? Okay. Very good. If it is one, it's necessarily not different. And if it is different, it's necessarily not one. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So what about the subject different? Is different different or is different one?
It's
Yes.
one.
different is one.
It follows that the subject different is not different.
Accept.
So it follows that the subject Chavi is not Chavi.
No provision.
Okay, yeah, no provision. Yes, there are many phenomena which are not themselves. Many phenomena are not themselves. The subject different is not different. Yeah, the subject, for instance, what do we have? Yeah, the subject definition. Definition is not a definition. It is a definendum because it has a definition. So many things like this, yeah. Okay, most of the time, phenomena are themselves. Yeah, for instance, Chavi is Chavi. Yeah, okay, but still, some phenomena are not themselves. Different is not different. Different is one. Yeah, but still, it is not a common base between different and one. It is just one. It is not different. Okay, very good. So we had something which is both different and impermanent, table and chair. We had different and not impermanent. two types of uncompounded space. And we have impermanent, which is not different, one chair. So now among phenomena, sometimes the challenger has the right to ask. Otherwise, it could be too easy to say another rabbit. Among phenomena, what kind of illustration do we have, which is not different and not impermanent?
Permanent?
Permanent. Yes. Yes, the subject permanent. Yes, or the subject one, or the subject existent, and so on, or the subject uncompounded space. Yes, they are all one. Yes, when they are selected in isolation. So the subject, what was it? Your answer? Permanent. Yeah. So the subject permanent, it follows it is not different.
Except
Okay, it is not different because
it is not a diverse phenomenon.
yes, it follows that if it is not diverse phenomena, it's necessarily not different.
Except
Okay. And the subject permanent, it follows it is not impermanent.
except
It is not impermanent because
it is not produced.
yes, it follows that if it is not produced, it's necessarily not impermanent.
Except
Very good. Yeah, so the subject permanent is not impermanent, it is permanent. And it is not different because it is one. Yeah, so we have four possibilities. Wow. Very good. Okay. So now what do we have? So maybe we will not have time to see the syllogism today. We will check. We'll see. Okay. And okay. Person and black cat, which never comes when you call her. Okay, so person and black cat, to make it easier. Yeah,
3P?
it follows.
P.
Yeah, okay, 3P. It follows you can posit the definition of person.
That which is
Uh-huh.
included in any of the five aggregates.
Yes, yes, sometimes, most of the times they add something in the definition. They would say a me or an I, in Tibetan, or a being, or an individual, yeah, kiebu in Tibetan. So usually the definition is a being which is imputed independence on any of its five aggregates. Yeah. Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, so it follows that the subject, a being which is imputed independence on any of its five aggregates, is necessarily the definition of person.
Except.
Very good. And the other one, cat. Yeah, okay, black cat. Okay, okay, so 3P. So it follows you can posit an illustration of something which is both.
The black
Yes.
cat called Jeremy.
The black called what?
Name whatever. Like
Okay. Okay, we can say the black cat in the street. Okay, the black cat in the village, the black cat chasing after a mouse, and so on. Okay, so okay, so the subject, a black cat in the street or cold, whatever. It follows it is a black cat.
Except.
Okay, and it follows it is a person.
Except.
It is a person because
Because it is a being imputed in dependence of any of the five aggregates.
very good. It follows that if it is a being which is imputed independence on any of its five aggregates, it's necessarily a person.
Except.
Yes. So as you can see, sometimes we are a bit shy to take part in the debate because we don't know the definitions, but we learn the definitions during the debate anyway, yeah, because we repeat a lot, yeah. Okay, very good. So if you say 3P, you can posit the perversion.
If it is a black cat, it is necessarily a person, but if it is a person, it's not necessarily a black cat.
Very good. I would say the same. Yeah. So it follows you can posit an illustration of a person which is not a black cat.
Rocio. I hope
Rocio. It
feel
follows.
right now. After
I'm
that
sure there are some black cats in Mexico that they are called Rocio, no? No,
no,
it's not for human being.
human being.
Okay. Okay, so it follows that the subject Rocio is not a black cat.
This one, maybe after death, but right now, I am not a black cat.
Yeah.
Perceived by direct perception.
Yeah. Maybe some people will watch YouTube and they will be inspired to call their black cats Rocio.
That would be
Maybe, who knows?
a very well, the illustration of a person is a human being.
Yes, okay. So Rocio, which is a human being, it follows. You are a person.
Accept.
You are a person
because I am a being imputed in any of the 5 aggregates.
Yes, very good. Fantastic. So yes, it follows that if it is a black cat, it's necessarily a person. But if it is a person, it's not necessarily a black cat. It can be a human being, any of the beings in samsara. Yeah. Because yeah,
if-
even the Buddha is a person. Yeah.
If a human being is that which talks and comprehends, I think.
Ah,
What is an animal?
okay. So yes, I'm not sure if we have the definition of animal, but if we say that the definition of human being is that which talks and understands the meaning, mashe dengoa in Tibetan, yeah. So it would follow that a human being which is a baby, is not a human being because it doesn't speak and doesn't understand the meaning.
But then why?
Doesn't
We're-
have to have all 5 aggregates. It should have at least some of them, right?
Yes, exactly like in the formless realms. Yes, they have only 4, but still, yes, a baby has the 5 aggregates, yeah, form, feelings, discrimination or identification, that's the same, composition of factors and consciousnesses. So yes, he has all of them, yes, but he is not able to speak and
But
understand the meaning.
then the human being is that being that has a potential of, speaking and comprehending.
Okay, so it follows that the Deva, for instance, when the Buddha taught for 3 months in Tushita, for instance, yeah, he taught to Devas, so they speak, and when Brahma and Indra, they requested the Buddha to teach and so on, so they spoke to him, yeah, so they speak and they are able to understand the meaning. So it follows that Devas are not contradictory with human beings.
Then I have the definition of human being wrong.
So it's not necessarily wrong. We could say it's a bit incomplete. Yeah. Usually speaking in the text, they say Mashidengoe mi tsini. Mashidengoa. Okay, but we could say Mashidengoe riksuneba in Tibetan. That which belongs to the class of that which speaks and understands the meaning. Riksunepa in Tibetan, it's very useful. That which is classed, that which is categorized as, that which belongs to the class of. It's very useful. Mashidangoe Riksunepa. So even if a baby doesn't speak and understand the meaning, he is classified as, he is categorized as a human being. And even a deva, if a deva is able to speak and understand the meaning, it is not categorized as being a human being. So that's very handy. Yeah, so we could say that which is categorized as, that which speaks and understands the meaning. That would be more complete. Yes? Okay, very good. Very good. So we have 3P between person and cat. Okay, very good. So now we have form and non-form. it follows that you know the definition of form. This one is very easy.
Contradictory.
Ah, yes, contradictory, form and non-form. Okay, very good. Form and non-form. Yes, so the definition of form is easy. That which is suitable to be a form. Zusuruaya. That which is suitable to be a form. They don't give any complex definition because we have to see that, we have to hear that, we have to touch it. So that's why they don't give a very, mouthful definition of form. We have to see it, we have to feel it. Yeah. Okay. So form and non-form. Okay. So it follows that if it is form, it's necessarily contradictory with non-form.
Except.
Okay. And if it is non-form, it's necessarily contradictory with form.
Except.
Okay. So it follows that the subject horn or rabbit is not form.
Except.
So it follows that the subject horn or rabbit is a non-form.
It has to exist.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
here we have a non-form.
either it is one or the other. Either it is table or non-table, or form or non-form, or space or non-space, or as any, anything. It has to be either itself or non-itself. So if horn of the rabbit is not matter, because it doesn't exist, it is non-form.
Is non-form, right?
Okay, still it is not contradictory with form.
Yeah, because it is not a phenomena.
Yes, very good.
Mm.
Very good. So that's why it's totally correct to say form and non-form are contradictory. Yeah, because we say non-form as a category, as a generality. So there are many non-forms that exist and many non-forms that don't exist. So the generality non-form exists. Yeah, so the subject non-form exists, but if it is a non-form, it doesn't necessarily exist. It's like for the Chittamatra, you have imputed nature. Yeah, imputed natures. Generally speaking, they exist, but if it is an imputed nature, it doesn't necessarily exist. It can be a self. It can be a horned rabbit, and so on. Yeah. But still, generally speaking, imputed nature has to exist because many permanent phenomena, of all the permanent phenomena exist. So they belong to the
Like
category
one?
imputed. Yeah, permanent phenomena, for instance, which are not
Like
the
one?
ultimate.
And
Like one, exactly. One is an imputed nature for the Chittamatra, but there are many imputed natures which don't exist, like the
then
the self of phenomena, the self of person, and so on. They are non-existent, so they are included in that category, imputed natures. So imputed nature exists, but if it is an imputed nature, it doesn't necessarily exist. Yeah, so like form exists, yeah, if it is a form, it has to exist, but non-form exists, but if it is a non-form, it doesn't necessarily exist. Yeah, horned rabbit is a non-form. Okay, very good. Oh la la, so many crunchy informations. Oh wow. Crunchy for me, I don't know, maybe for you it's so basic. For me, it's a bit crunchy. Okay, so form and non-form, we've done that. And now we have, okay, only two. Then I guess the syllogism, we will see that next time with easy samples. Okay, so phenomena which are not one and different. Phenomena which are not one and different.
Equivalent.
Equivalent. Okay. So this one is a bit tricky. So it follows. So if we say equivalent, okay. They're equivalent because
Because if it is a phenomena that is not one, it is different. And if it's different, it is a phenomenon, not one. Oh, okay, yeah, because different can be one. Yes, no, wrong. My answer is wrong. Okay.
Well, what you say is fully correct, but yeah, I had some doubt about this. But yes,
It's 3P.
okay. Because when we are looking for a common base, something which is both, something which is both, yeah. So something which is phenomenon which is not one. Sorry, yeah, phenomena which are not one, and something which is different. So that's why it's impossible to find any common base, because different itself is not different. Yeah, sorry, it's not. We cannot find any common base with something which is different and a phenomena which are not one. Yeah, because different itself is not different. Okay, so sorry, that's why I had some doubts, but that's perfectly right. Phenomena which are not one, so they have to exist, and they are not one. So if they exist and they are not one, they are necessarily different. And if they are different, they are necessarily phenomena which are not one. Yeah, that's why we could have some doubt, because different itself could be something which is both, but it's not possible. They're different. It's not different. Different is one. Okay.
So we can have a common base like apple and orange.
Yes. Yes, apple and orange, they are different, and they are phenomena which are not one. Exactly. Yes, table and chair, house and garden, flower and stem, and so on. Yeah, so we could give so many illustrations. So they have only common bases. Yeah, so they are equivalent. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So Rodolfo was right. But yes, sometimes we can have some doubts. Yeah, it's intuitive to say yes like this, but if we double check, sometimes we could find some counterexamples. But here there is no counterexample. Yeah, we have only common bases. Yeah. Okay, so they are equivalent. Very good. Now, okay, one with cup not made in China and cup. Okay. So we could say yes, any. Yes, 3P. Okay, very good. So it follows we can posit an illustration of something which is both one with cup, which is not made in China, and which is not so easy to find nowadays. Just joking. And cup, which is the common
Cup
base.
not made in China.
Yes, the subject cup, which is not made in China, it follows it is one with cup, which is not made in China. Yes, okay, it is the subject cup, which is not made in China, is one with cup, which is not made in China, because?
Because it is a phenomena which is not diverse.
Yes, it is a phenomenon which is not diverse from?
From one with cup not made in
Yeah,
China.
from cup which is not made in China. Yeah, because if we say
Sorry,
because it is, yeah,
yeah.
very good, very good. So it follows it is a common base between the two. It is cup, and it is cup, which is not one, not, and it is one with cup, which is not made in China. Okay, I should not choose some examples like this. They are too tricky. Okay. So if you say 3P, you can posit the perversion.
If it is cup not made in China, it is necessarily cup. But if it is cup, it is not necessarily cup not made in China.
Yes. So here the debate, the subject of the debate is one with cup not made in China. Yeah.
Sorry. If it
Yeah?
is one with cup not made in China, it is necessarily cup. But if it is
Yes.
cup, it is not necessarily one with cup not made in China.
Very good. Very good. Fantastic. And sometimes we have to read To be sure, not to make mistakes. Yes, if it is one with cup, not made in China, it's necessarily cup, because it is one with a specific type of cup. Yeah, everybody agrees. But if it is a cup, it's not necessarily one with cup, not made in China. Yeah. Okay, it can be any cup which is different from cup not made in China. Yeah, blue cup, the subject blue cup is different from cup not made in China. Everybody agrees. Okay, wow, headache. So yes, we have something which is both, something which is cup, but not one with cup not made in China, and something which is none of them.
Cup. Oh, no, not cup. Bottle.
Sorry?
A bottle.
A battle, yeah, a battle. It follows that the subject battle is not one with cup not made in China.
Except.
Yeah, very good. It is not because?
Because it is one with bottle.
Yeah, very good. So it follows that if it is one with battle, it's necessarily not one with cup, which is not made in China. Yes, very good. And it follows that the subject battle is not a cup.
Except.
Yes, it is not a cup because?
Because. Not a cup. Because. Because.
Because they're different.
Because they are contradictory, maybe, no?
They are
Because they're
contradictory.
contradictory.
Yes, it follows that if they are contradictory, then battle is necessarily not a cup.
Except.
Yes.
Very good. So 3P. Wow, fantastic. I hope everybody follows those debates. Is that okay? No issues? Is that okay? Yes. Okay, very good. Yeah, sometimes it can be a bit tricky, but if it's okay for you, all those relationships, all the rest would be easy. Yeah, because that's the very first step we have to do, is to compare phenomena, to know some definitions, of course, and then also the syllogism. Yeah, so we'll see that next time. So then after, when we are okay with the defender's answers, like accept, reason is not established, no perversion, and so on, then we can play any debate. Yeah, so then after we can see of course, for the colors and so on, personally, I don't find it so interesting. Colors and so on. Some people, they really like it, but for me, I really prefer the second chapter in the Yonzin Purvu Chok Jura, established base. Yeah, so existent and permanent, impermanent. Then we can delve into that next time. Okay, so thank you so much. It's very, very useful, I hope. So in order to clarify our thought process, in order to use our mind, to have an active mind, and also always with a good motivation. And because our mind is our most precious thing, of course, the body is so important as well, but our mind, the way we see things, the way we think, the way we refine our formulations and so on, it's so useful for the classical texts. Yeah, so that's why that's the perspective each time. Yeah, thank you so much. It was a great pleasure, and sometimes very funny. Thank you so much, and take care. Thank you for your help, Chaviji, and see you next time with the syllogism. Thank you. Take care for the sake of all the beings.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.